Hello everyone and welcome back. Jeez, it's been a crazy year, hasn't it? So many things have happened. Lives lost, norms shattered. We have seen things that some of us had hoped that we would never see. And I fear that there is no end to this craziness in sight. Sadly, a lot of it stems from one 5-letter devil: money. It's humorous how money and devil have the same amount of letters, isn't it? Feel free to ponder on that as we delve into the precursor to that 5-finger sack punch: barter. Barter is, plainly put, exchange. Exchange of goods and services for other goods and services without the use of money. So let's use it in an example. If you continue to watch this video, I will offer you some knowledge and what I consider my attempt at comedy. You still there? Cool. Then it seems you have agreed to the terms of my barter. As many of you already know, time is both a good and a service. Time is a fleeting commodity that we all run out of just a little bit more with every passing day. So before we go much further, thank you. It means a lot to myself and creators like myself to receive your time and energy. Without you, there would be no us. As artists, we value eyes and ears to appreciate our efforts. And the rest of you too. Otherwise, black market body harvesting would be flooded by a lot more artists. Well, conventional artists at least. I tried more than a couple times to get superior minds, my bust of Nikola Tesla made completely out of earlobes, to be admitted into the gallery. Inspired by Van Gogh, the original lobe enthusiast himself. The likeness is deafening. You can see it, right? Anyway, barter is a system with recorded use all the way back to 6000 BC. The simple fishmonger would trade his harvest to that of the farmer for a well-balanced meal. Mesopotamians, the Phoenicians, Babylonians, all of them participated in different forms of barter. They were often involving a lot of trust, as each value was not as traditionally guaranteed as, say, monetary value with a set standard. Each dollar has an expected amount that it is worth. But the barter system triumphed over such areas where currency is unstable. Instead of issues money normally faces, barter faced its own challenges. From things like double coincidence of wants, lack of common measure of value, indivisibility of certain goods, difficulty in making deferred payments, and/or difficulty in storing its value. Everything from food to weapons, spices to human skulls were used for barter. Not sure why skull bowls went out of style. We would have a lot less enemies and a lot more dinnerware if we could keep traditions alive. I know some of you immediately started thinking about language barriers when I said how long barter has existed. Don't worry, traders thought of that too. Even though chicken, gold, and salt didn't always have a word that would be easily understood, they could always be identifiable through sight, at the very least. Silent barter, or dumb barter, referring to the initial meaning of dumb, which was mute, had existed for exchanges where that problem would often arise. People would come from one continent to another and not speak the same language. Even different countries from place to place don't speak the same languages. Certain cultures, such as the Chinese and Mongols, even had hand signals such as these, and they would often use them in silent trades. It got really big between 500 and 1500 AD, which roughly spans a long area of the Age of Exploration. One common practice would be for a group of traders to go to a well-known place for trade, leave their belongings, go a safe distance away, and bang on a drum. That would signal trade initiation. If the other side came and they were happy with what was left, they would leave their goods, take something, and then leave themselves. Greek historian Herodotus wrote of similar exchanges done on beaches signaled by smoke. Here we see again that trust is a really big factor for this to go successfully. While my ancestors who took the Viking ways, Viking literally means seafaring Scandinavians who would travel from one shore to the next for raiding and trading, were often more well known for the violent of the two. But with their vast reach and experience in trade, they would go to set up and maintain many of the trade routes that made trading successful from there on out. And they shaped the future of economics for generations to come, including Leif Erikson, who sailed all the way to the Americas and ended up doing some trading with the natives there, as well as Africa and India. While they did create what was known as a bullion economy, which was the weighing of silver and sometimes gold, that was primarily held by the wealthier classes. So barter was still heavily used. They effectively helped rebuild the European economy after the fall of the Roman Empire. So when you think of Vikings, remember that they weren't all beards, battle axes, breasts, beer, bare chests, burnt homes, and butt cheeks. They were also really good at barter too. The 8 B's of the Viking era. The more you know. While the existence and continued use of money has greatly diminished the use of barter, it is a system that still survives to this very day. Many people engage in trades without monetary value that function entirely on good faith and the settled value of skills and goods. The internet has been a huge factor in its survival, as the grip of cold, hard cash continues to strangle the life out of its patrons. Not to mention close-knit neighborhoods and communities. While much of it survives in partial trades, which is some goods and some cash, or investment trades with the future promise of goods or services, such things as direct trade agreements happen as well. Certain examples can come from babysitting, i.e. the cost of childcare is reduced for, say, food along with cash. So you can fulfill your primal urge to raid the pantry for just a little less cash. A much more peaceful raid where normally people don't have to die. Another version could be you have your kids and the neighbor's kids over for a couple nights a week, and then a couple nights a week the neighbor has them over. Even still, you could exchange watching the kids for perhaps helping you with a fence or just food for your family in general. It's important to make sure the children are protected and cared for. It takes a village to raise a child, they say. It also frees up your income for you to be able to pay bills and things that will not accept barter as a form of payment. But be warned! Certain agreements made aware to the IRS will be weighed in something that they call barter bucks, which puts a direct monetary value on them, which dilutes the service down to something that they can put a tax on. Because taxes must invade every aspect of our lives. Oodalolly, golly, what a day. As the days go by, we are increasingly affected by money, stress, and the insane events that circle around us and lurk in the shadows. It is important to remember that while money makes the world go round, it absolutely does not make who we are. Nor should we allow it to cloud our judgment and make us into monsters who focus solely upon it. Amidst the crumbling institutions, we need to build each other up and support our fellow humans. It is very important to remember who we are, where we come from, and where we want to go. Can you answer those questions honestly beyond where money is trying to lead you? Do you know who you are? Do you have the trust necessary to conduct barter, not for gain, but for reciprocation, to help your fellow man grow? These are not the questions I want answers to. These are your answers that I want you to question.